The title of Grandmaster was first officially awarded in 1950. Now, in 2017, at the St. Louis Winter Invitational, that tradition continues. Hello, chess fans, and welcome to the final wrap-up report after Round 9 here at the Winter Invitational, the GM and IM Norm tournaments. 3 players, Tatev Abrahamyan, Joel Banawa, and Justus Williams, have either earned an International Master Norm or have gained the title itself. In the Grandmaster Norm field, we have one of our local favorites, maybe a second hometown, adopted, a daughter you might say, woman Grandmaster Tatev Abrahamyan, who today got to 4.5 points with her victory over Nikhil Kumar. Congratulations.
Thank you.
Take us through the game.
So I actually just looked up this line and I found a couple of games they all ended in a draw, but I still think it's a little pleasant for white because my bishop is very strong. Any pawn, because of the pawn structure, any pawn ending is winning for me because I'm kind of playing up a pawn because he cannot create a pass pawn on the king side. I think queen trade should be a win too because he cannot move the knight. So it's kind of hard for him to really do much because any kind of trade is bad, so he always has to keep that in mind. And I kind of can start trying to push my queenside pawns. Okay, that didn't work. Let's bring my king around. So I have improvements, and I think it's harder for him to find improvements because if he... So first of all, he needs to fix his king, and then he needs to figure out what he's going to do with his king side. If he pushes something like f6, it's going to weaken his king, and there's still queens on the board. Like here, queen d3. So yeah, so for example, if he plays queen d7, like this endgame should just be lost. So I should bring my king, create a pass pawn, and then, like, oops. These pawns are completely useless. So if he goes f5, I can simply take, and I'm basically up a pawn. So a6. So he's trying to play f6, bring his knight into the game, bishop c3. So if now f6, maybe I can put my bishop on b4, and now this king is again maybe not so happy. So if king f7, I can even try something like f4, trying to push g5. So knight here. So he didn't really find any ideas, he just kind of waited around. Before, so I'm getting everything I want in, like I'm pushing my queen side, I'm bringing my king in, I can create a pass pawn, and he's just waiting, so it's like I'm getting free moves in. Actually, I'm not even sure what he should be doing here. So here, maybe he should have put the king on the queen side and then played knight e8. So, and then he played queen d7. I think this endgame is already very bad for him. So he traded queen, so I think this endgame is already lost because he still needs to do something about his king side to bring his king in, and my king is so close, and I can start pushing my pawns. c5, f6. He played b5. I think if he goes king e7, this looks winning. And I want to push this because I want to play c6 and have my a pawn, distant pass pawn, and then my king is going to run over to the king side. So he played b5, and I think this ending is already just winning. Because he has a lot of problems here. First of all, I'm creating a pass pawn, and second of all, he cannot even activate his knight because after a check, he cannot bring the king over because, again, this fixed pawn structure is just devastating. So I think from here on is very straightforward. So I just won the pawn. So I'm completely winning, so we just made a few moves. The pawns are queening. So it's something out of desperation. So of course I'm just winning. So the pawn endgame, or even if we don't go into a pawn endgame, b6, b7, it's just winning the game.
Well, congratulations, Tatev.
Thank you.
Now, you were the lowest rated player in the GM Norm field coming in here, and so your performance exceeded what was expected, you might say. And also, you technically earned an IM Norm in the GM Norm field, but it doesn't really matter in your circumstance. Do you even know how many IM Norms you have anymore?
I thought I had 5, but now I'm kind of double guessing. Maybe this is my 5th, but that's pretty sure I had 5.
So now it's all about getting to that 2,400 mark,
Mm-hmm.
and I expect we'll see you back, of course, for the U.S. Women's Championship per tradition. So that's always a great event. Who are you looking forward to playing in that event coming up?
I guess maybe the newer players, because I feel like I've played against Anna and Crush so many times.
Mm-hmm.
So some new blood is always good. Keeps things interesting.
It sure does, and that's coming up on March 28th and going from March to April, and that will be on uschesschamps.com as well. Tatev, thank you for joining me. It's been an honor as always, and let's take a look at the final standings for the GM Norm field. In this field, Grandmaster David Berches won clear first place. However, perhaps the story is Tatev Abrahamyan's norm-winning performance, finishing clear above what was expected of her given she was the lowest-rated player in the field. Coming into the IM Norm section, I think we have the story of the entire tournament. The former FIDE master, now international master Joel Banawa, has gotten his rating over 2,400. He has all of his norms, and here he is to show his 8th round game. Joel, congratulations, first of all.
Well,
this is
so
amazing.
Much. Thank you.
So round 8 against Michael Brooks. Let's see how you clinched it.
This is an interesting point where, just like what I mentioned earlier, sometimes you have to evaluate the position before you capture an exchange. Because I've had a lot of experience in the past where I grabbed the exchange right away, and it turns out that the knight is actually, or the minor piece is much more powerful than the rook. And I wasn't sure if it's in just like this instance. After, for example, bishop takes f6, bishop takes, I have to be really careful. Queen takes d6, I was thinking about it, but after queen takes h5, and if I just start grabbing pawns on the queen side, all of a sudden he has this move bishop h4, and then he can move the bishop to g3, and maybe bishop f4, or he could start activating the rook. Even though I'm up by a lot of pawns there, I don't really have any ideas or plans in this position, but just to wait. And if you're up, you really don't want to give your opponent counterplay as much as possible. So this would be an ideal position for black. And that's the reason why I didn't take the rook right away. I had to evaluate the position first before capturing. And luckily I found this move, knight f1. I really love this move. And the point is, after queen takes h5, bishop takes, I can get rid of the piece that holds on to his whole position. His whole position has a lot of weaknesses, but this bishop keeps it all together. And if I could get rid of that bishop and he captures back on d5, then my rook could start penetrating. The f5 pawn will fall. He has a lot of problems. Now black played bishop b7, knight takes c4. Okay, and now I have a lot of play in the position. Rook h7, knight takes d6, bishop d5, and here at this point, I wasn't really intending to play g4 originally. I was thinking about playing c4, but I thought that maybe it might give him some chances. It might weaken my pawn on d4. I didn't really calculate anything concrete. But when I saw g4, I thought that will simplify everything. It's really odd because it seems like I would be giving him too much counterplay after g4. But thanks to my rooks, especially my rook on the second rank, I could actually aid my king very easily and transform my defensive position into an offensive position. And here I was expecting rook g7, queen h4 is also possible, queen h3. Well, yeah, queen h3, rook h2, and I was okay with this endgame. This endgame was fine, even though my king looks a bit exposed without the queens on the board. My position is great. There's nothing here. Black has no follow-up, and I'm just up by a lot of material. Queen h3, maybe more interesting. Oh, sorry, queen h4. Bishop takes f5 is probably what I would have played, and knight takes. And I was again very happy about this position. I didn't think I had any problems, and now my rook could go to h2 and take on h6. For example, queen here. Let's say this happens. I could probably take on f3, calculated something like this, or knight takes h6. I think it was knight takes h6 first. Anyway, that endgame should be winning for white. I have a lot of pawns, and I could create pass pawns on the queen side very easily. So he decided not to do that. He decided that rook g7 will probably give me the biggest problems, but I think at this point I've already calculated the following sequence after rook h2 and bishop h4, that the tactic that he performed in the game wasn't going to work. I think this position is already lost after bishop h4. I was expecting bishop takes f3, but I think what my opponent missed was that the fact that if I just move my king, he was probably relying on this tactical idea of performing a discovery attack against my queen. Unfortunately, I will just take it with check, and now he's just in an absolute pin. The rook is pinned down, the bishop is pinned down, the queen can't really move, and his king is not safe on g8. I have quick ideas that will win me some more materials, such as queen takes g4 followed by knight takes h6, or knight takes h4. The position is now completely lost. And I was pretty happy about that game. It was a pretty complex game, and I was just really happy. That allowed me to clinch the 2400 rating.
Absolutely. And that was yesterday. Now today, you came up short, but I would imagine that it's tough to keep your spirits down anyway.
That's right.
It's not every day that this happens. So, Joel, very congratulations, very big one to you, and thank you for giving us your time.
My pleasure.
And you're also finishing at the top of the standings here, so let's take a look for the last time at our final IM Normfield standings. To finish up, Joel Banawa and Justus Williams finish tied first in this field. Justus Williams has earned an IM Norm. Joel Banawa, on the other hand, has gotten his FIDE ELO rating over 2400, and with more than 3 norms to his credit, he is now officially an international master. I'm here with FIDE master Justus Williams back again, and that only means it's good news. Justus, you have hit the magic 6.5 points after a draw today with Doug Eckert.
Yeah, there wasn't really much in this opening in this game, really. It was just about securing a draw. But yeah, throughout the tournament, I joked about going 8.5 out of 9, and I almost did it. I got 6.5, and I only lost 1 game, and even that game, I was better against Joel, who's he's a really good player. But other than that, I thought I played pretty well, good enough for Norm, and I just set the bar high,
Right, exactly. And Doug likes to, it kind of brings him up when he's not doing too well in a tournament. A lot of times he plays tougher fields. He was telling me the other day that it brings him up to not kind of gift people the norm, but when people can norm off him, that's kind of uplifting. You were 20 minutes or so late for the first round because of transportation issues. Is that right?
Yeah, it's like every time I'm close to getting my IM title, it's just something bad happens. And today, I called a cab and it just never showed up. So we had to recall the cab.
Well, and you only have half an hour to make the round.
Yeah, I only have
right?
half an hour to make the round, and I was about 15 minutes late already. So it was pretty wild. When I first got my IM norms, the same thing happened. I played in a tournament called something in North American, and I was 7 for 8, and clear first by a full point, and all I needed was like a draw to secure it, and I lose the last round, so I lose the title, but I gain a norm. And then the next year following that, not the same situation, but I tie for first again, and I get second place off a tiebreak, so I don't get the title, but I get the norm. So it was kind of like looking like something was stopping me from getting that title, but it's a good thing a cab came, and that was fine.
Thank goodness, because when you came up those stairs, Mike Kummer, he wiped the sweat from his
Yeah, I
brow,
saw
and he
that.
was like, "We just avoided a tragedy," is what he said. So that's very cool. Congratulations on your performance. We like you so much. We'll forgive you for that jacket right there. So, the Cubs fan, I guess. So Justus Williams, now he's just fighting for the rating. 3 IM norms, he's got it. So congratulations to him. A lot of these names you might be hearing for the very first time. In the future, though, don't be surprised if you see a few of these players show up in the U.S. Championships. That will do it for this 2017 Winter Invitational, and by the look of these stories, I'd say it was a smashing success. Expect the St. Louis Chess Club to bring you more of these norm tournaments in the future, and you can see it right here on YouTube and uschesschamps.com. And one more thing. For the past 5 years, this YouTube channel has brought you the most compelling lecture videos and live tournament broadcasts in the entire chess world. With the occasional silly video on the side as well, we want to thank you, the YouTube viewers, who have made this channel truly what it is today. 100,000 subscribers strong. So, for all of you who have really heeded the advice to like, share, and subscribe, thank you so much. And we'll have much more for you coming down the road.